जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदना जय ब्रज जन रंजना जय जामुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी विष्णुपाद परमहंस श्री रचकाचार्य स्तोत्र शिवदभाय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री गुरुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की हिताय गौर प्रेमानंदी All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Jainitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. So you can still, if you can't see, you can. There's plenty of room here. You can place yourself so that you can see the screen clearly. Let's do Mangalacharan and after that we'll start. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapad-kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Khanta Radha Khanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bhuter Mahadbhiryayima Puro Vibhu Nirmaya Shete Yadamusha Purusha Bhumte Gunan Shodasha Shodashatmaka Solang Krisishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Sri Krishna Sharanam Sharanagatam Katha Amritam Satata Pibatam Bhakti Vedanta Marga Panthanam Sarvaloka Rishideva Janna Prasannam Sarvaloka Rishideva Janna Prasannam. So Hare Krishna, again welcome to each and every one of you. I seek blessings of many Senior Vaishnavas here so that I can speak something in glorification of the Lord for my purification. And I pray to the Parampara, the spiritual masters, that they sit on the tip of my tongue so that everything I might say may be according to the Parampara and pleasing to the Lordships and all of you present here. So, we had a very good fortune about, I think, 5-6 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, to go to Ahobilam. Ahobilam is a kshetra where Lord Narsimha actually appears to protect his dear devotee Prahlad Maharaj. And as you start your journey from that kshetra, this nice verse written on the screen is there. So let's, for the glorification and pleasure of Lord Narsimha, recite this nice verse. Aho Viryam Aho Shauryam Aho Bahu Parakramaha Narsimham Param Devam Aho Bilam Aho Balam. So Aho, the devotee Sutikshita Krishna Prabhu was explaining to us, he was our tour guide and a devotee. He was explaining, Aho is like an exclamation, like, oh, how wonderful. So Aho Viryam, what valor, what courage, Shauryam, courage, what gallantry he has got, Lord Narsimha there. So just by looking at the picture of Lord Narsimha there, you can just imagine as he appeared from the pillar, So as it is, breaking a pillar is a very hard thing. But just imagine the Supreme Lord inside the pillar. Yato Narsimha, Parato Narsimo, Bahaya Narsima, Hridaye Narsima. Lord Narsimha is everywhere. So from within the pillar he appeared. So how strong, how courageous, how valiant, how gallantry his activities can be. It's like his body is like of steel. Aho Viryam Aho Shauryam Aho Bahu Parakramaha. And with his multiple arms, Bahu, Parakramaha, he can do many valiant things, which he is just about to do. Narsimham Param Devam. And this Supreme Lord, his name is Narsimha. Nara means half man and Simha means lion. So half man, half lion. And he is no other than Param Devam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in Bhagavatamrita, Brihad Bhagavatamrita, it is explained that there are three Purushottamas. There is Purna Purushottam Krishna, and then the secondary Maryada Purushottam Lord Sri Rama, and the third Vatsalya Purushottam Lord Narsimha. He is known as Bhakta Vatsala. He appears to protect devotees especially. So these three Purushottamas in terms of prowess are in same level. And Lord Narsimha's appearance is very auspicious for devotees. And in Mayapur, when ISKCON Fest was established, there were a lot of gundas and dacoits coming there and harassing devotees. So Prabhupada, commanded the devotees that let's install Lord Narsimha there. And this is how Lord Narsimha actually appeared in Mayapur. And they are very, very powerful deities. So it is said that if, one has any prayer to make, if one makes prayer to that Lord Narsimha there in Mayapur, that Lord Narsimha surely listens to that prayer. Narsimham param devam aho bilam aho balam. Oh, what a cave he resides in. Bilam means it's a cave. So Lord Narsimha actually resides in a cave. So those who actually joined us, we actually will go again, maybe in 2-3 years' time, to this Kshetra. So there are 12 Narsimha Kshetras. There are 12 temples of Narsimha there. And, there is Jwala Narsimha, very fiery Narsimha. There is Ugra Narsimha, very angry Narsimha. And there is Yogendra Narsimha sitting in yoga pose. And so there are 12 of them altogether. And it's a trip, that is very memorial. And there is Ugra Stambha, the actual pillar from where Lord Narsimha appeared. And actually, Sakirai Prabhu, Brajalakshmi Mataji, we all went there. It's a very steep climb. And it's very adventurous. So, we can organize that trip again, probably in 2-3 years' time. Because I think few devotees took some vow, and that those things they prayed for has come true. So they said if it comes true, they'll go there again. Aho balam, and what strength he has got. Narsimha Bhagwan ki. Yeah. So it may appear to be, how can this be possible? Half man, half lion. But Rupa Goswami says, Krishna is Supreme Lord. So what is there he cannot do? This verse very nicely explains that. Let's sing together. I'll sing, you can repeat. Ambodhi stalatam stalam jaladhitam dhuli lava shailatam. Sailomit pranatam trini kulishitam vajram trini shinatam. Vahne shitalatam himam dahanatam ayati yasyechya. Lila durlalitadbhutam yasanine Krishnaya tasmai namaha. Lila durlalitadbhutabhyasanine Krishnaya tasmai namaha. Krishnaya tasmai namaha. So Ambodhi is Thalatam. Ambodhi means ocean. If Krishna desires Yasya Ichhaya, then he can turn vast ocean into Sthala. Sthala means dry land. And he can turn dry land into vast ocean. So we see that as Lord Rama, he threatened the sea that if you don't give me way to Lanka, with my one bow, I'll dry up the whole ocean. And when the secondary devastation happens, the whole world becomes inundated with waters. And Krishna, lying on a banyan leaf, he just takes his toe to taste the sweetness of his toe, and he sucks, and then all the water and everything just enters him. So he can turn dry land into vast ocean and vast ocean into dry land in no moment at all. Dhuli lavai shailatam, he can turn speck of dust into big mountain. And shailo mritakanatam, and big mountain into speck of dust. Vajram trini shinatam, he can turn a blade of grass, trini kulashitam, into Vajra, the great thunderbolt. And great thunderbolt he can turn into insignificant piece of grass. Vahni shitalatam. Vahni means fire, great fire. So we see Prahlad Maharaj, his father Hiranyakashipu tried to burn him alive by putting him onto the lap of Holika. But imagine what kind of air conditioning the Lord may have created in Prahlad's body, that Prahlad did not get any burns. But Holika, who was given the boon of not to get burned, she burned and died. So if Lord wishes, he can make any boon true or any boon false. Holika had a boon that she would never get burned, but she got burnt. And Prahlad, who had no protection, the Lord protected him. Vahani shitalatam, himam dahanatam, and great snow, mountain full of snows, he can turn into great fire. Ayati yasya ichhaya, this is the yasya ichhaya, if Krishna desires so. So Prabhupada used to tell that any prayer we make, we say, Krishna, only if you desire so. He can make impossible into possible. How? Leela Durlalita. Durlalita is very nicely translated as mischievous. This is the mischievous Leela of Krishna. Now just imagine, Hiranyakashipu, 10,000 years austerity he did. And he thought he covered all bases, not inside the house, not outside the house, not on the land, not on the sky, not in the water. Neither by man, neither by beast. No by any weapons, no in the day, no in the night. Covered all bases. But Lord Narsimha there, just in one moment, ripped his chest and intestine apart. And yet he made all those conditions that Brahmaji had given as a boon to Hiranyakashipu true. So this is Leela Durlalita. It's mischievous of Krishna that if someone goes against the will of Krishna and covers all the bases, that Krishna, Adbhuta, wonderfully, he just nullifies it. All that 10,000 years of austerity, just one moment, took him no inside the house, no outside, in the passage of the doorway. Not in the day, not in the night, at dusk. Not with any weapons, with his fingernails. Not beast, no man, half beast, half man. And just ripped his intestine out. So what do we understand? That actually nothing is impossible for Lord. So we should have faith that no matter how trying the circumstances are, Lord is more powerful than what we can ever imagine. And various Krishna's pastimes prove this. And what is the specific quality of this pastime? Very nicely, Shukdev Goswami says to Maharaj Parikshit, because Maharaj Parikshit asks this question, please narrate the pastimes of Lord Narsimha Dev in relation to his dear devotee Prahlad Maharaj. How could a father be so envious of his own son? So, in answer to that question, Shukdev Goswami congratulates Parikshit Maharaj. Please recite. Shri Rishir Vacha Sadhu Prishto Maharaja Hares Charitam Adbhutam. So it says Sadhu Prashto Maharaja. Oh King, your question is very nice. Why? Because it relates to Hares Charitam Adbhutam. Because the Supreme Lord, His character, His charita, His activities is Adbhutam, is wonderful. Wonderful means you can't believe it, that He can do that. But yet He did. But when does He do that? Yad Bhagavata Mahatmyam. When a great devotee like Prahlad Maharaj, when he is called, or he calls the Lord, then in relation to such great devotees, the Lord performs Adbhuta, wonderful leelas, wonderful pastimes. So this pastime is not only about Lord Narsimha Dev, it's also about his dear devotee Prahlad Maharaj. But what's it got to do with us then? They can do their pastime. However, when we hear this pastime, the advantage is what happens? Bhagavad Bhakti Vardhanam. The devotional service in our heart onto Krishna, Vardhanam. Vardhanam means it increases, multiplies exponentially. Sadhu Prishto Maharaja. Hares Charitam Adbhutam. Yad Bhagavata Mahatmyam. Bhagavad Bhakti Vardhanam. So do we want our devotional service to increase?
Obviously.
So let's nicely hear, and not only hear, but when we go back, hear it again and again. It was a great privilege actually to study for this class, because after a long time I read this canto, and it's such wonderful teachings that Prahlad Maharaj gives, especially Prahlad Maharaj's conversations with his school friends. I think it's the 5th or 6th chapter of 7th canto. Such wonderful teachings, please, because we won't be able to cover everything, but when you go home, open your sets of Bhagavatams. If you don't have Bhagavatams, buy Bhagavatam and read it. It will be most enlivening experience, but it will actually make us think, what are we doing with our lives? Once Prabhupada was leaving, I think, New Vrindavan, and on the side, he asked the driver to stop the car. And there was a man there, and Prabhupada asked, what are you doing? And he said, I'm planting potatoes. So Prabhupada said, no, I mean, what are you doing with your life? This is a question, what are we doing with our life? The life is just going on, and one day it will end. What are we doing? But Prahlad Maharaj's teachings makes us introspect and think, what are we doing with our lives? So I have selected the 10 verses to meditate on. After Lord has appeared, He has killed Hiranyakashipu, and Prahlad Maharaj offers nice prayers to Lord Narsimha Dev, and then Lord Narsimha Dev from Ugra becomes Shanta. It's amazing. The Lord is supposed to be Shanta. In Vedas, He is described as Shantakaram, Bhujagasayanam, Padmanabham, Suresham. But here we see he gets angry. Lord Narsimha is an angry Lord. For the sake of devotee, the Lord gets angry, assumes anger. The devotee is known as Prashanta and the Lord is Shanta. But that Shanta for Prashanta gets angry when the Prashanta is harassed. And this is what the Lord did. And after Prahlad Maharaj offers wonderful praise in the 9th chapter, then the Lord becomes pacified, he becomes Shanta. And at that time, he offers many benedictions to Prahlad Maharaj. But then Prahlad Maharaj says, no, please my Lord, this is allurements of material enjoyment that you are giving me. And actually this mood is the real protection. So let's meditate and dive deep into these 10 prayers. Sri Prahlada Vacha Mamam Pralobhayotpatya Saktam Kameshu Taivarehi Tatsangabhito Nirvinno Mumukshustvam So Prahlad Maharaj says, "Oh my Lord, because I was born in an atheistic family, I am naturally attached to material enjoyment. Therefore, kindly do not tempt me with such illusions. I am very much afraid of material conditions, and I desire to be liberated from materialistic life. It is for this reason that I have taken shelter of your lotus feet." So imagine you're given an open check, ask for anything you want. And what would we put the petition as? But here, Prahlad Maharaj is so careful. I'm not afraid, he says. I'm so much afraid of material nature. But a devotee is supposed to be confident. Actually, no, a devotee is supposed to be afraid of material nature because it's Krishna's illusory energy which is very strong. In the prayers that Prahlad Maharaj offers, he says, Naham bhibhem ajitate bhayanakasyam. That, oh my Lord, I am actually not afraid of your bhayanak, ghastly form. Jivvarka netra bhukiti rabasogradam strat. Your tongue, fire-like tongue. Your frowning eyebrows. And your antra sraja shatajakeshara shankhu karnan. The garland of intestines. Your sharp nails. And your sharp teeth like thunderbolts. So if just imagine a lion is here and just roars, and it's not in a cage and just ready to devour. How frightened one would be. I remember once we were doing drama in North Sydney Temple, and then my dear friend Bharat Devanani in the farm, he became Shurpanakha, a man Shurpanakha. So anyway, when Lakshmana cut nose of Shurpanakha, then he he assumes the form of a demoness, and he just he took the sari out, and the nose was disfigured, like of course all the makeup, and he shouted, "Rah!" Then the teeth were put on, and all the children sitting in the front, they screamed of fear. And my niece, who is very, very brave, she had nightmares for 2-3 months. And my aunt said, "You obey, otherwise I'll call Shurpanakha." So imagine a lion, just does that. How ghastly it would be. But Prahlad Maharaj says, no. Naham bhibhem ajitate ti bhayanakasya. Although your form is ati bhayanak, but naham bhibhemya. I'm not afraid of this. I am afraid of what? Trastosmyaham kripana vatsala dussahogram samsara chakra kadanam grasatam pranitam. I am afraid of the samsara chakra, grasatam, in which we are being just crushed. Grasatam pranitam. Trastosmyaham. And he addresses Lord as Kripana Vatsala. Kripana means we who don't know value of life. Like we know one day we are going to die, but we still carry on things which will actually drag us down. Knowing what is right, we do the wrong. But Krishna or Lord Narsimha Dev is Kripana Vatsala. He even tries to save them. So samsara chakra kadanam grasatam pranita baddha swakarma bhirushattamate moolam pritopavarga sharanam yavase kadanu. So Narsimha prays, my Lord, I'm afraid of this samsara. When will you call me at your lotus feet? Prabhupada once mentioned, he was praying, I can't remember which deity it was, backtracking a bit, the devotee in the temple asks Srila Prabhupada, will you ever fall down? So Prabhupada said, I will never fall down. Very confidently he said. Then the next day Prabhupada was in front of the altar praying, and the devotee asks, Prabhupada, what were you praying for? So Srila Prabhupada says, I was praying to the Lord that please, please, please bless me that I never fall down. So the devotee said, but you said you won't fall down. Prabhupada said, yes, I won't fall down because I'm always aware. And I'm always praying to the Lord, please don't let me fall down. So this is the mood of Prahlad Maharaj. Just imagine how wonderful of a devotee Prahlad Maharaj is. He is compared best and amongst even the demigods. What to speak of demigods? Even Lakshmi Devi, Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. In the prayers, Prahlad Maharaj says, Naisha paravarapatir bhavato nanusyan jantoryata suhridaha surututma atma yad brahmano nacha bhavaya na vairamaya yanmerpita sarasi padmakara prasadat. That my Lord, yad brahmano, you did not offer your mercy to Brahma, Lord Brahma. Nor did you offer your mercy to Lord Shiva, Bhavaya, no Ramaya, no Lakshmi Devi. What was the mercy? Mercy was that you put your lotus hand, Padmakara, on my head. So have you ever heard or seen that Lord Vishnu putting his hand on the head of Lakshmi Devi or on the head of Lord Shiva or on the head of Lord Brahma? No, but he did it to Prahlad Maharaj. Why? Because Prahlad Maharaj tolerated so much. Just imagine your own father, who is supposed to protect you, is trying to kill you. Prahlad Maharaj was asked by his father that what is the best thing that you have learnt in school? So Prahlad Maharaj said that I have learnt, oh my father, that these materialistic foolish people, mudhas, they are just wasting their life. They should just give up sense gratification and their sinful ways and just go to the forest and there meditate on the Supreme Lord. So the father first laughed it off, the thinking that he has been polluted by the enemy camp, and he reprimanded the teachers, just teach him properly subjects of sense gratification, politics, economics and so on. Because the demons, they're not interested in devotional service. So they were sent back. So the teachers there asked Prahlad Maharaj that, why are you so deviant? Why are you defying your father's order? Why are you doing devotional service? So Prahlad Maharaj said that I have actually no control. As the iron filings, they are attracted to the magnet. So similarly, my consciousness being changed by the will of Supreme Lord is attracted to the Supreme Lord. I have no control over it. That's how Prahlad Maharaj's devotion was. What to speak of Prahlad Maharaj? Even his spiritual master, Narad Muni, is praising Prahlad Maharaj. He is classifying Prahlad Maharaj, when he is glorifying Prahlad Maharaj, that Nasta Balo Nako Krida, that Prahlad Maharaj wasn't an ordinary boy. He wasn't interested in sporting or playing thing like all the children, as soon as they are released, they are out there in the car park playing, running around. Prahlad Maharaj was not like that. Nasta Balo Nako Krida. Jadavat Tan Manastaya. He appeared very different from the ordinary boys. Jadavat, as in like when children are there, they'll be playing. Prahlad Maharaj appeared completely uninterested or antisocial, you can say. However, how was this possible? Very nicely, Narad Muni says, Krsna graha grihita atma. So in astrology we know that they are grahas. But guess what? The greatest of all grahas is the graha of planet Golok Vrindavan. Prabhupada writes in the paper, Krishna graha, grihita atma. So his mind was influenced or affected by this planet known as Krishna Loka or Golok Vrindavan. And therefore, Naved idrisham jagat. He could not identify himself with the materialist peasants. He could not understand the ways of the world. He was very innocent. Very, very innocent. Krishna graha grihita atma. So, if we want to be like Prahlad Maharaj, forget about astrology, forget about Vastu Shastra, all these things. Krishna is the greatest astrologer. Krishna is the greatest Vastu Shastri. As soon as Krishna is there, we learn what? Ambodhi stalatam stalam jaladitam. He can do anything and everything. And Prahlad Maharaj's consciousness was affected by that. And he wanted Prahlad Maharaj to be a perfect devotee. And for that reason, the appearance of Prahlad Maharaj came. Prabhupada writes in the paper that Prahlad Maharaj was a Nitya Siddha. Nitya Siddha means eternally liberated. And he comes here especially to show us how devotional service is done. So if we want to really learn how devotional service is done, hearing the message of Prahlad Maharaj in 7th canto is most important. Prabhupada actually lectured the most from this 7th canto, and that too from the teaching of Prahlad Maharaj. If you do accounting in Veda base of Prabhupada's classes on Srimad Bhagavatam. In Bhagavad Gita, he lectured most on the 2nd chapter, we are not the body, we are the soul. And on Srimad Bhagavatam, he lectured most on the 7th canto and these chapters of Prahlad Maharaj's teachings. Let's continue. Bhritya Lakshana Jignasur Bhakta Kamesh Achodayat Bhavan Samsara Bijeshu Hridaya Granthishu Prabho. So he's saying, oh my Lord, because of the seed of lusty desires, which is the root cause of material existence, is within the core of everyone's heart, you have sent me in this world to exhibit the symptoms of a pure devotee. So he is a pure devotee, and he is exhibiting symptoms for our benefit so that we can become pure devotees. Nanyatha te khila guru Ghateta karunatmanaha Yasta Ashisha Ashaste Nasabhritya Savaivanik. Otherwise, O my Lord, O Supreme Instructor of the entire world, you are so kind to your devotee that you could not induce him to do something unbeneficial for him. On the other hand, one who desires some material benefit in exchange for devotional service cannot be your pure devotee. Indeed, he is no better than a merchant who wants profit in exchange for service. No, vanik. Vanik means vanyo. It's just some deal he'll make with Krishna. Krishna, you do this for me, I'll do this for you. That is not pure devotional service. At the moment in Srimad Bhagavatam class in the morning, we were looking at the essence of the absolute and ultimate good, the answers. What is the absolute and ultimate good for people in general? What is that? What's the verse? Has anyone memorized it? Yes, please sing, Prabhu, so everyone can repeat. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhoksaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. So this is the definition of dharma, and by following this dharma, savai pumsam paro, this is the highest dharma. Highest. What is it? Yato bhaktir adhoksaje. Doing which devotional service unto Supreme Lord, who is known as adhokshaje, sprouts in the heart. And when that devotional service is ahaituki apratihata. Ahaituki means without any hetu or without any motivation, not a business. My Lord, I'll do this for you, you do this for me. No. And when devotional service is without any motive, then it is apratihata. Apratihata means it is uninterrupted, it is complete, it is akhandita. Khandit means it's broken, akhandita means it's unbroken. So when we have motive, when the motive becomes fulfilled, then we say, Krishna, bye-bye. Kam pura hua. When we have a motive, the motive doesn't become fulfilled, Krishna did not fulfill our motive, so bye-bye. That is not bhakti. Of course, a kami devotee may approach the Lord for something. But then the Lord is very intelligent. In the first sloka of Mukundamala Stotra, Kulsekar Maharaj says, Sri Vallabheti Vardeti Dayapareti. Actually, we'll cover that in the next verse. But the point here is that we should think in our mind not to do deal with Krishna. Best not to do any deal with Krishna. The only deal we do with Krishna, that I'll do your devotional service without any motive. That's the best deal, because actually that is most beneficial deal. Let's not be savai vanika, not be a vanij. Then how we should be? What should our mode be? Aham tvakamastvad bhaktas tvam cha swami anapashrayaha nanye te hatvayor artho rajasevakayoriva. Aham tva akamas tvad bhakta. I am your unmotivated servant. We should address to Krishna like this. Krishna, I am your unmotivated servant. Even if we have motive in our heart, every day we say this, one day we'll realize, let's not have motive. And Tvam cha swami anapashraya, and you are my eternal master. Nan ya anyatha. There is no other relationship between us two. You are my eternal master, I am your eternal servant. No other relationship is needed. And no other artho, no other purpose, cause is needed. Raja seva kayoriva. Naturally, like the king is there and the servant is there. Naturally, that disposition is to be maintained. Now, ordinarily, there is no joy in being a servant in the material world. Now, the CEO of the company may be there in India, but there is a peon. The peon doesn't enjoy the facilities of the CEO, doesn't it? But here, it's different. It's very different. And let's see what Prahlad Maharaj says in the following verses. Indriyani mana prana Atma dharmo dhriti matihi Hri Shri Teja Smritir Satyam Yasya Nashyanti Janmana. If for some reason we are harboring material desires in our hearts, then over a period of time, these lusty desires will destroy our birth, the functions of our senses, our religious, our patience, our life, our body, our intelligence, our sense of truthfulness, our remembrance, our tejaha, and our strength. Overindulgence in senses has this effect. Therefore, a person who has his senses under his control actually not only can outlive others, but he can understand the subject matter of scriptures. Now, Hiranyakashipu controlled the whole universe, but he could not control his senses. Hiranyakashipu, he is allured by gold and he lies on soft bed, which is the standard of material enjoyment. Sleeping, mating, and collecting wealth. On the other hand, Prahlad Maharaj, by bodily strength, he may not be strong, but he was very strong in his determination. Prahlad Maharaj was more intelligent and yet determined. Hiranyakashipu was determined but complete foolish. Like Ravana, it says, 10 heads, no brains. So, he did austerity with determination for 10,000. Anyone who does austerity even for one day nowadays, some determination is required to do Ekadashi. Now, I mean, the greatest vrata we can do is chanting of the holy name. I mean, in the retreat, many devotees are here. We did 64 rounds of chanting. And, on the weekend, if we have some time, it'd be good to, take the time out. Wake up early in the morning, 3 o'clock, we start our chanting. Before Mangalarti, 16 rounds done. Then to Mangalarti, then between Mangalarti and Shringararti, another 16 rounds, 32 rounds done. And then if you still feel hungry, have little to eat, not too much, otherwise you'll go to sleep. Then between 8 o'clock, 8:30 to 12, do 32 rounds, 64 rounds done. And you'll see how you feel, how energy, like there's devotional energy just surcharges through the body. And then 16 rounds from next day is nothing. Those who are struggling with 60 rounds, chant 64 rounds. We may actually arrange something in here on that. The thing is, our determination should be like Prahlad Maharaj, for the right things, not for the wrong things. But materialist persons are determined for wrong things, and that determination actually results in their fall down. Fall down, their intelligence is lost, memory is lost, tejas is lost, everything is lost. So if we don't want loss of all these things, Prahlad Maharaj is very aware of all these things. So he's saying to my Lord, please don't allure me with all these benedictions. Although he is a perfect devotee. But if Prahlad Maharaj is afraid, how much more afraid we should be. Vimunchati yada kaman manavo manasi sthitam tarhi eva pundarikaksha bhagavat-tvaya kalpate. Very nice verse. When a human being is able to give up all material desires in his mind, he becomes eligible to possess wealth and opulence like yours. So Krishna says, Prajahati yada kaman sarva partha manogatan. What are these desires? These desires are manogatan, means just simply concoction of mind. It does not exist. It's not real. We just create something in the mind, manogatan. It is like, in 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that example is given of the banyan tree upside down. Mango tree, okay, you imagine, you see reflection of mango in the water and you think it's real. You jump in there, but there is no mango. Similarly, these desires, material desires, actually have no existence. Who here has been able to satisfy their material desires? No one. Because you think you have, but the result is you want more. And when you try to get more, you don't get, you become angry. When you get it, you become greedy. There will be a saturation point beyond which you'll go into depression. That is the result of material desires, how it works. However, one who is very much attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he possesses opulence like the Supreme Lord. So ordinarily the boss and the servant in material world is separate. But in spiritual world, guess what? What will happen when we go there? The Gop Kumar example is given. Immediately, Krishna, when Gop Kumar enters Golok Vrindavan, then at that time all the trees, they are like downwards, the windows and doors of all the house are shut. And Gop Kumar is wondering, where have I come? But then Krishna is returning back from the forest. Vrindaranyam Sodaramana. And then his flute is playing. All of a sudden, he says, many thousands of cows and Krishna's friends, Gopabha, they're coming. And the windows of all the houses, the doors open, the gopis, gopis and elderly men, they come out of their house and they see Krishna in great festive coming. And Krishna sees Gop Kumar, who has just come from the material world after going through cycle of birth and deaths many, many times. And as soon as Krishna sees a living entity from the material world come into spiritual world, what does Krishna do? Krishna starts running. He runs, the living entity also runs, and they embrace each other. And they both cry. Krishna cries. Krishna says, where were you for such a long time? I sent so many of my messengers. I myself came. Where were you for such a long time? This is our home. So, when we are with Krishna, although we are eternal servants, we are not treated like servants. Krishna actually shares his opulence with his devotees. He says this, Naham atmanam asase mad bhaktair sadhuvir vina. I don't want to enjoy my opulence without my devotees. Sriyam chadyantikam brahmam yesham aham gatir para. I do not wish to enjoy Shriyam, the opulences, without my devotees. So in Vrindavan, we see this, that Krishna is Bhagavanta. That Kamani Kamta, Sri Bhagavanta, Sri Krishna. However, Krishna is actually dependent on the mercy of Radharani. So, once Vrinda Devi was coming, and the gopis, they asked, Kasmat Brinda Priya Sakhe Hare Padamulau Kutastha. A conversation takes place. Kasmat Brinde Priya Sakhe. Oh dear friend, Vrinda Devi, where are you coming from? So she answered, Hare Padamula. I am coming from the lotus feet of Krishna. That's where Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi always is. Oh, you coming from there? Then, Kutastva. What is Krishna doing? So she answers, Kundaranyam. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Kutastva. Where is Krishna? Krishna is in Kundaranyam. He is in forest of, in the banks of Radhakund, in the forest there, Kundaranyam. So is there Kim Iha Kurute? What is he doing? What is Krishna doing in the forest of Vrindavan at the banks of Radhakund? He is Nitya Sikshaha. He is learning how to dance. Now, Krishna is greatest of all dancers. He doesn't need how to learn to dance. So then the gopis asked, Guru Kaha? Who is the Guru? Who is teaching Krishna how to dance? Then they answer, Tantvam Murti Pratittarulatam Digda Vikshunti Sprunti Sailosi Vabhramati Parito Nartayanti Swapasya. Actually, all the creepers, the trees in Vrindavan, they are expansions of Srimati Radharani, and their movements is teaching Krishna on how to dance. Krishna is Radhamai. He is absorbed in thoughts of Radha, that everything he does is as per Radha's desires. So Krishna becomes subordinate to his unflinching servant. But the servant always desires to remain as servant. And then Prahlad Maharaj concludes, Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Purushaya Mahatmane Harayed Bhuta Simhaya Brahmane Paramatmane Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Purushaya Mahatmane Harayed Bhuta Simhaya Brahmane Paramatmane. So obeisances he offers to Bhagavate, the master of 6 opulences. He is the supreme Lord Purushaya, and his glories Mahatmane are spread all over the place. And Haraye, he takes away the miseries of devotees. Adbhuta, his wonderful Adbhuta form, Simhaya, half man, half lion. But he is Brahmane Paramatmane, the supreme personality of Godhead, the soul in our, the super soul in our hearts. So the real protection, what is it? The real protection is, Prahlad Maharaj offers these prayers. These are the essence of Prahlad Maharaj prayers in 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Is that we don't harbor material desires in our heart. So when we sing Narsimha prayer, Karat Kamala Varena Kad Bhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubhringam, that he ripped apart the intestine of Hiranyakashipu. So similarly, rip apart the material-like desires in our hearts. Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya. This is the bija vase. Everyone has had plenty of prasadam to eat? Yes? So, I can go on a bit? Yes? Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya. Namaste Jasate Jase. Namaste Jasate Jase. Avir Avir Bhava. Avir Avir Bhava. So the Supreme Lord is Narsimhaya. Namaste Jasate Jase. He is the source of all power. Prahlad Maharaj actually was asked by Hiranyakashipu that where are you getting your power from? I've tried to kill you in so many ways. Elephant was called to stomp on Prahlad Maharaj. The elephant bowed down. Prahlad Maharaj was thrown in the pit of snakes. Snakes did not harm. The weapons were thrown at him, but his body was like Vajra itself. Poison was administered. And Prahlad Maharaj was unafraid. Hiranyakashipu said, I will kill you. Prahlad Maharaj was just folding his head without any fear, abhaya. So he asked, where is this power coming from? Prahlad Maharaj answered, the same power that you are getting, my father, I am getting from my Supreme Lord. He is the source of all power. Namaste Jasate Jase. Namaste Jasate Jase. Avir Avir Bhava. Avir Avir Bhava. Avir Avir Bhava. Please manifest in our lives. How? Vajranakha. With thunderbolt like nails. Vajradamstra. With teeth, tails just like thunderbolts. And what to do with those thunderbolt like nails? Karmashayan. Randhaya Randhaya. Karmashayan. The desire to live happily in this material world through fruitive activities, please rip that apart. Randhaya Randhaya. Tamo Grasa Grasa. Please destroy the ignorance. Om Swaha. Om Swaha. Abhayam Abhayam Atmani. Abhayam Abhayam Atmani. Please give us fearlessness. Bhuishtha. Bhuishtha. Om. Shrom. And when we have that kind of desire in heart, that we don't want to have any material desire, then actually we can do good to others. Otherwise, a master who is having desires, he will only exploit. So similarly, we should actually analyze the person we are working for. Is he having our interest or actually their interest at heart? Are they desireless or not? And if we work under a great devotee like Prahlad Maharaj or Srila Prabhupada, then actually the service we do will fructify. Otherwise, we'll be exploited. And when we become devoid of material desires, then actually we can pray for the whole world. Really. Swasti astu vishvasya kala prasidatam. So swasti means let there be good fortune. So this is the devotee's prayer. Prahlad Maharaj prays like this. Swasti astu, let there be good fortune, vishvasya, throughout the universe. There will be envious persons. They are known as khala. But let the khala be prasidatam. Let them be pacified. Swasti astu vishvasya kala prasidatam. Dhyayantu bhutani shivam mithodhiya. So in this way, dhyayantu, if we think about bhutani, all the living entities, and shivam. Shivam means auspiciousness. May good happen to them. You also live, I also live. You also prosper, I also prosper. You go ahead, I also go ahead. Mithodhiya. This is the mutual understanding or the mutual intelligence. Let's all go together. Radha Krishna bolo, sange chalo. Ay matra bhikachai. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, come, let's walk together on path back home, back to Godhead. Not that, main jaunga, tum yahan raho. Pure devotee or devotee doesn't desire that. Swastiyastu vishvasya kala prasidatam. Dhyayantu bhutani shivam mithodhiya. Because if we really think like this, Dhyayantu bhutani shivam, how good can happen to others, then we'll be free of envy. And when we are free of envy, our mind is free. And that free mind is called manascha badram. So when we have something against anyone, they are occupying our mind. We are giving him a rent-free place in our mind. Why? Rather, our mind, who should be there in our mind? Krishna. So, manascha badram. So when there is no one in the mind, then we are kind to our mind. Be kind to the mind. And when we are kind to our mind, how we will know? That bhajata jadhokshaje. Then we are able to worship Krishna. Inactually. Aveshyatam no. Aveshyatam is a very nice word. Prabhupada translates that the devotee becomes absorbed in Krishna. And when one becomes absorbed in Krishna, nothing can harm him. Like Prahlad Maharaj, he was completely absorbed in thoughts of Krishna and nothing could harm him. Matir apyahetuki. And Prahlad Maharaj did not have any ulterior motive or desire. And this is the greatest protection. And the Lord is able to protect. Why? Because He is Vatsalya. He is dear to His devotee. Abhaya Prada. He can give Abhaya, fearlessness. Samyat Artarti Nirvapadat. He gets rid of the miseries of devotees. Audaryad. He is magnanimous. Agashoshanat, Aganita. Our many sinful, which we cannot count, Aganita, He can take away. Shreya Prada Prapanat, and He can give us the highest destination. Therefore, Sevya Shripatir Ete Sarva Jagatam. Rupa Goswami says, therefore please save the Supreme Lord, who is the husband of the goddess of fortune. Sevya Shripati Ete Sarva Jagatam. And Ete Yata Sakshina, there is testimonials as well, testimony of those devotees who experience it. Who is the first devotees who experience it? He says, Prahladascha Vibhishanascha Karirat Panchala Hilya Dhruva. Prahlad, he experienced this. Vibhishana, he came to shelter of Lord Ram. Lord Ram gave him Abhaya, fearlessness. Karirat means Gajendra. Gajendra just plucked a flower, offered to the Lord delivered him. And Draupadi called out, Hey Govinda, Krishna came immediately. Ahilya, Lord Ram delivered Ahilya. She was a Sheila and again she became Ahilya. And Dhruva. Dhruva Maharaj came with some motive. So even if we go to with some motive, Krishna purifies that motive. That's the Audarya, the magnanimity of Krishna. So if at all we need anything, better we go to Krishna for that. And this is our greatest protection. So we'll just end with this. This is actually yesterday. What was the significance of yesterday? Radha Raman's appearance day. So this, actually this is Krishna Shodashaka Stotra. It is a nice stotra of, in Radha Raman temple they sing this. And actually daily my mother used to sing this. So we learnt it through her. And so here the devotee Jairam Dev Goswami is asking Krishna for protecting various protection. Why do devotees ask for protection? So that we can do our devotional service in a much better mood. So we won't have time to repeat, but let's sing together. It's very easy to sing. Mama mastak ki karo sada raksha mathureswar Nainananda kumar nasika nit tulsishwar Mukh ki raksha karo sada Shri Murli Dhari Shri Radhavar Krishna Chandra mein sharan tumhari Shravanana Sridhar Kantha Kamsa Samharan Hare Bhujana Chatur Bhuj Karna Sada Kartar Hamare Hridaya Hari Hridayesha Radhikara Manamurari Shri Radhavar Krishna Chandra mein sharan tumhari Nabhi Niranjan Padma Nabha Narayana Pyare Jan Dhan Jagadhar Charan Gocharan Hare Angurin Shri Chakradhar Nakhan Govardhan Dhari Shri Radhavar Krishna Chandra mein sharan tumhari Pita param pranesha sadasan mukha sukha rasi Sab angan sarvesha satchidanand avinashi Man mandir mein baso sada mohan banwari Shri Radhavar Krishna Chandra mein sharan tumhari Main ati dosh nidan dukhit karuna mein swami Jahi vidhi mama hita hoya karahu so antaryami Vandat pad jaya ram dev charanan shirdhari Shri Radhavar Krishna Chandra mein sharan tumhari Shri Radhavar Krishna Chandra mein sharan tumhari Shri Radhavar Krishna Chandra mein sharan tumhari So briefly, so he says, Mama Mastak ki karo sada raksha Mathureshwar. So names of Krishna are here. Mathureshwar, who is the master of Mathura. So please protect my head. Why? Because this head I have to use to bow down before your lotus feet. Nainananda Kumar Nasika Nitya Tulsishwar. Oh Nanda Kumar, protect my nose. Because from nose I have to smell the flowers which are offered to you. And Nitya Tulsishwar, who is the Lord of Tulsi Devi. Mukha ki karo sada raksha Shri Murli Dhari. Oh Murli Dhari, Krishna who plays the flute, please protect my mouth. Because from this mouth I have to sing your glories and taste prasadam. Shravanana Sridhara, Kamsa, Kansa, Sangharan Hare. Please protect my ears, because from these ears we have to hear your pastimes and your holy names. And Kantha, protect our throat, because from here our speech, voice comes out, so that we can glorify you. Bhujana Chatur Bhuj Karana Sada Karatara Hamare. Please protect our arms. And please do things for us on my behalf, because I don't know what's good for me. Hridaya Hari Hridaya Saradhika Ramana Murari. So one who place and spots in the heart of Srimati Radharani, please protect my heart. See, everything is about relationships. And if we give a seat, prime seat in our heart to Krishna, then our heart will be nourished. Otherwise, any other person will make it broken-hearted. I remember Kadam Kanand Maharaj once, when he came to Sydney, he was giving a class at our place, and he said that, say to your wife, I love you, but only after Krishna. Krishna is the first one. So, in this way, the real protection the Lord gives, and once the Lord gives the protection, what is the real protection of the Lord? That man mandir mein baso sada mohan banwari, that we can always think of Krishna. The moment we don't think of Krishna, the protection is gone. Our ability to think of Krishna is there, the protection shield is there. So Krishna, please let me always remember you, please let me never forget you. That is the greatest protection. And Lord Narsimha Dev, we should pray that please give us that protection. Thank you so much for tolerating me. I think the prasadam today was very good. So we can, that's actually advantage of having prasadam first, we can go longer. So now we are very grateful to His Grace Bhimsen Prabhuji and Archana Mataji for bringing their deities, Shri Radha Govardhan Dhari, Giri Govardhan Dhari, Shri Radha Giri Govardhan Dhari ki. And they have Lord Narsimha Dev here as well. So now we'll have Abhishek, and everyone will have an opportunity to do the Abhishek. And let's pray in this nice mood that, my Lord, let there be no material desires in my heart. And we'll find that we are giving ourselves the shield of protection of Lord by doing that. Jai Narsimha Dev Bhagwan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki, Jai Gaur Premanande. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Mukunda.